everybody. It's Gracie here, and welcome back to a live. Before I get started, click the link in my bio to book a consultation for yoga and meditation coaching. And to get all of my other spiritual resources, I am opening up an academy called the Manifestation. Called Manifesting Money. No, Money Manifest. I don't know. I don't even know why my Manifestation Mastery Academy. If you're ready to join that, click the link in my bio. Guys, okay. Let's talk about high school. I was just talking to my cousin about this, and I was just driving around the old neighborhood that my high school was, and honey, cringe, like cringe. Ew, I got that feeling again. Ugh, I just check it out for me. Y'all, high school was a social experiment. Like, at this point, I'm literally convinced, like, what the fuck was that? Seriously. What the fuck was that? Like, looking back on it, I don't know what city y'all grew up in, but here, St. Louis, I went to Webster Groves High School. I'm telling you, even middle school, that shit was bunk. But high school, I don't even know. I think that was a social experiment. Like, what the fuck was that? I can't tell you not one damn thing that I learned. I can't tell you not one core memory where I was actually happy being there. Besides, like, oh, my little friends or whatever. Pep rallies, bunk. I mean, it was a mess, honey. It was a literal mess. When I'm telling you, kids was in the bathroom getting high. Because everybody was just like, if I'm gonna get through this shit, let me smoke a little bit. Let me smoke some weed. And it almost seemed like all of the black people, like the black people had their own kind of community in the school because it was predominantly white. And it seemed like all of us were like going through the same thing. Like family drama, mother-daughter drama, toxic family members. With me, it was, and then freshman year for me was COVID, and I don't even know how I passed. They just passed me at that point because it's like, who is about to sit on Zoom? I'm gonna be in Zoom in my bed, okay? And I think, like, in high school, I think I was like high for like 2 years straight. Like, honestly, and high off of like weed, nothing else, okay? But I know that my high school years ago, before I even went there, had a heroin epidemic, and there were some kids that died, like, literally. I love you too. I love you too, Kakaj. But yeah, there were some kids that literally died from heroin in the school that I went to. Like, there was a literal heroin epidemic. And I want to ask y'all a question. How is school supposed to be a good place when children have, because we were children, okay? I'm still young. But if you feel like to even get through it, you have to get high. Like, just think about that for a second. And the adults there, they didn't care. They just cared that you were getting high, but they never cared about our mental health. They never cared about our well-being. They never cared about the drama in our personal lives, especially the black kids. Like, I remember whenever the black kids used to come together, they used to talk about black excellence and how we're going to outdo the white people. Like, come on. This is bullshit. It's complete freaking bullshit. Like, I'm not living my life competing with white people and trying to outdo them because of the numbers. Honey, our ancestors were enslaved by them. Why the fuck would I want to compete with inhumane beings? Not that all white people are like that. There's some great white people, but you know what I mean. Like, coming from my community and my culture, this is kind of how I feel about it. And people weren't talking about the fact that these kids is depressed. People wasn't talking about how these kids going through drama with their family members. People wasn't talking about how instead of competing with white people, we need to be raising our standards for our community through love and real education, as in we don't have to depend on a system. We don't have to slave and work our whole lives away, where we can talk about like relationship dynamics, things that actually need to be said and talked about in order for us to like love each other. You know what I mean? And cause if you're black, you know what I'm talking about. Like, but no, when we came together it was about black excellence and making sure your grades are better than white people. Like, this is stupid. It was a freaking joke. Like, literally, high school was a social experiment. I don't even know what that fucking was. For me, honestly, it was a waste of freaking time. As y'all know, if y'all been watching me, I went homeschooled junior year. In the beginning of junior year, I went homeschooled. And I don't usually cuss, but I'm only cussing because I'm for real. Like, I'm dead serious right now when I'm talking right now. But yeah, I went homeschooled during junior year. Best decision I made in my life. Literally the best decision I made in my life. I became a yoga teacher, guys, at the age of 17. And I started dancing on stages. I traveled. I got experience, like, of actually living and enjoying my life and who I am at the end of the day. My grades were failing in high school because at a certain point, honestly, I was over it. I was done. Like, I was like, my dad just died. This is stupid. This is a joke. Kids are getting high in the bathroom. I'm getting high in the bathroom. Like, what is even happening right now? This is stupid. You would be amazed how much you can learn just from going to the library. That is really true. And I was one of those kids that went to the public library all the time to get books about my interests. And the thing that I can say that I really would love for you guys to learn from me is to pour into your interests at the end of the day and advocate for yourself, because that's what I did, and that's how I was able to go homeschool. I put up a little hissy fit, but I said, this is what I want to read about. I don't want to read about the Salem witch trials. I don't give a damn about no Salem witch trials. What do that have to do with me? I'm just being for real. Like, what does that have to do with me and my time here? I told her I want to read about these ancient Egyptian black women. I want to read about real history, about how my people actually got to this point in society. That's what I want. I want the truth. That's what I want. And I want to read about love and the heart and spells and alchemy. Like, that's what I liked. That was just my regular interest. So I was one of those kids that did go to the library and stuff like that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They were talking about black excellence, comparing us to white people, saying that we need to compete with white people. And honestly, just looking back on the black examples that we had in that school, they sucked. Honestly, if I'm being true. I remember I had a teacher, I'm not going to say her name, but she wasn't a teacher, she was a principal, and she was cool. She was cool, like, mentally. But other ones, they were on my tail about getting my grades together. And, like, if you don't get your grades together, You know, life is going to suck for you. You're going to be the 20-year-old that hasn't graduated yet, and you're going to regret your whole life, and then you're going to like have 1,500 kids and like 1,500 baby daddies or whatever, and then, you know, like just a whole bunch of nonsense and bullshit. And they limited me, and I never believed them. Not one time did I believe them, nor did I give a damn. And none of them today would be like, oh, you're gonna be a yoga teacher. Nobody would be able to tell me that. But when I left high school and I went homeschool, my mom invested in me, and she helped me find my passion. I found my passions. So I put in the effort into myself. You know what I mean? That's why I'm still here standing today with what I love to do and what I believe. I'm not living a life of working 50 plus years doing something I don't like to do. Living a life that I don't want to live. I'm not doing it. And that's the type of energy that y'all have to have. And I'm proud of my generation because they have that energy that, no, I'm not doing this shit. No, I'm not. Sorry. Like, come up with something new, boo. But yeah, so if any of my counselors or whoever from that school is watching this, I just want to say thank you for underestimating me. Number one. And I also want to say you're still at that school, and I've moved past that. I've always been better than that place. And that's why Great Mother, she made room. Hi, Brinley. That's why Great Mother made room for me to leave, you know, and get a better environment and a better experience, you know, because I knew that I was better. She knew that I was better. So, if you know that you're better than something, stand on that 10 toes down. It doesn't matter if you're in a system and everybody's doing one thing. When I was in high school, everybody was like either getting high in the bathroom, and at the same time everybody was like just doing the schoolwork. Even though everybody would complain like, this is so stupid, this is so dumb, I was the one that was like, I don't want to, like, I'm not doing this, like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this, let's learn about something different, like, seriously. Like, you know, um and I was never with the crowd. Like, it is what it is with them, but I didn't let that influence me because I understand that I was different and that I'm different and that human beings are human beings, but you don't have to live the way that everybody else lives. And for you to have a different life, you have to put your foot down and understand that, no, I want better. I want better. Honestly, if I could give a review of high school, 1 out of 10. I mean, seriously, it was stupid. Like, I was just talking to my cousin, and she was like, because we're 20 years old now, and both of our lives have changed tremendously since we left high school. And she was like, no, like, I've actually found myself and found my passions and what I want to do, you know, because she's an esthetician. And she was like, but in high school, she was like, she remembers some people was dying from suicide, you know, and random deaths, but from being the wrong place at the wrong time. But she was like, people died from suicide. And I'm like, wow, I went through that. I didn't die from suicide, thank God, but I have went through not wanting to be here. And that's a whole separate and sensitive topic that I'm not sure if I'm ready to go into detail with. But it was like, wow, what type of world, school are we in and living in if there are kids committing suicide and getting high in the bathroom? And then you want us to go to like calculus and then learn about freaking George Washington. Like, this What, like, you guys, what the heck was high school? Like, honestly, just thinking about it, I'm like, I feel bad for whoever is still in high school, whoever got to get on the bus, honey. That sucks. But, if anybody is out here listening, you know, if you know that you deserve better, if you know that you are better than your environment, then be better and stick to that. Because at the end of the day, it's going to pay off. At the end of the day, live for you. Don't live for other people. Don't live for society because, honey, they're going to let you down. Have a good day.